Hi, Miracle. How are you doing? Thank you for tuning in. How was your day? Hi, Grace to me. 623. How are you doing? Thank you for joining in. Oh, let me go ahead and pin this. How was your day, guys? All right, so tonight it's gonna be a little bit different. I am gonna try. Okay, nice, Grace to me. Um, Yeah, my day was pretty good. Was a little bit busy early in the day, but then, kind of wind down really nicely. When I got home, I was like super tired, fell asleep on the couch after having dinner. And then I'm like, all right, let me rush and try, get ready for this live. But it was good. How about yours? Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. So I'm going to pin a number on the live so persons can go ahead, feel free to call in and share your day, your story, whatever it is that you want to talk about. But it's more about, a day in the life of. So if you're an engineer, you're a nurse, I would love to hear from the nurses as well, because we have a lot of excitement going on in our schedule, or shift at work. So I'm gonna pin that in the chat here. What area are you in, Grace to me? And Miracle Thrash. How was your day? So the number is gonna be, what's my number? Goodness, that's bad. Stacy. So the number is gonna be 469 655 5152. All right, so you can call in on this number. If you have WhatsApp, you can WhatsApp me on this number as well. And all right, so that's the number. And I'm gonna pin it. All right, so yeah. Alabama. Okay, nice. All right, so if you want, you can go ahead and call in. I have a young lady who is planning on calling in later on. She's a nurse, and she's gonna be sharing a few things with us. So hopefully she will get a chance to, hop onto the live. So yeah, do we have anybody from Jamaica here? Remember to go ahead and tap on the screen, double tap the screen to, give the video a like, a thumbs up, okay? So today when I was working, well, I've always considered it, but today I was at work and I had a patient and apparently she does get a bath like, once per week. So I wanted to kind of touch on that topic. How often, wherever you're from, how often, oh, Grace to me is in New York. How often do you guys, shower, have a bath? In my culture, where I'm from in Jamaica, we take a bath probably 2 times or 3 times per day. So I want to know, what are your thoughts on that? How often do you guys find yourself showering, and what are some of the reasons you're thinking, persons do shower once or twice per week? Because that was another thing that was shocking for me when I moved to the States here, especially when I was in, up north, where it was a little bit colder. Sometimes I would be like, okay, I'm heading home, or it's a case where I am like, all right, I got in for work, and I would say that I got up from 5 o'clock to start getting ready for work, and I'll hear people say, why do you get up so early? And I'm like, well, I have to get a bath. And they're like, you shower in the morning. And I'm talking about like nurses, people in the health field. So they'll be like, you shower in the morning before coming to work. And it's the same thing, you know, when you're leaving work, some persons are like, oh, they're going home and they're just gonna head straight into bed. Some persons will be like, and they'll brag about it, you know. So it was like I guess it's a norm for a lot of persons, and it's dependent on where you're at, because you know, when it comes on to persons living in like, you know, Jamaica, where the or Texas here, where the temperature is a little bit warmer, you might find out that persons probably shower a little bit more because it's hot, you know, they're sweating. So some of those are reasons why they probably take a bath, an extra bath, versus persons in the cold probably thinking that, you know, they're not sweating, so there's no need to get a bath. So that was just it. So today when I went in, I was having a conversation with a patient, because that patient hasn't had a bath. Well, it's an elderly person, so you know, they have like an aide that comes in once or twice per week, and they'll get a bath once per week. And I was like, only once? That's just not, you know, not good. Because these persons are like, a lot of them are incontinent, and yeah, having a bath once a week is just not enough for them. So I just wanted to hear what your thoughts are on that. And I notice I have 7 persons on the live. Can you go ahead and identify yourself, please? I noticed that Miracle is here, or Grace is here. And do we have anybody else here? Remember to give the video a thumbs up as we go along. And if you have anybody who is, you know, interested in sharing their story, whatever story it is, you know, related to nursing, anything that will encourage persons, or just kind of give us an idea as to a day in the life of that individual, then feel free to go ahead and share the number. They can text me, or whenever I'm doing my live, they can go ahead and call. And I have an interview with a Nigerian that I am going to be uploading. So I want you guys to hear her story, you know, so look out for that video. And as I say, a lot of the videos will be mostly, you know, audio with those persons, because some persons just don't like the camera. So unfortunately. All right. So Grace, to me, if you're still here, in New York, what is the norm? What is the culture with persons taking a bath down that side? Do you find yourself having a bath every day, or, you know, 2 times per week, or once a week? What is it like? I don't think probably she's here. Okay. Yeah, so the climate is one thing that contributes to why persons probably take a bath, you know, as I say, once, twice. And another thing is probably their busy work schedule. Grace to me says, I am Jamaican but raised in New York. Okay, so yes, once a day minimum shower. But I realize, no, being a mother of 3-year-old, that often of a 3-year-old, that often children have bath days. Okay, so she's a Jamaican, so it seems as though she, you know, her regular thing is a bath per day, the minimum. Okay, that's good. That's good. I know, and the thing about it is that we I'd met a few other persons, like, you know, after they get here. Okay, other children. Okay. When they do get here, I think because of the culture, they just literally switch over to, you know, adopting to the American way, you know, and forget about what they used to do back then. So, but I cannot go to my bed. I can't find myself leaving work, especially the kind of work that I do, you know, and not taking a bath. You know, even if I get off a shift at 2 o'clock, head home, and it's like 4 o'clock, I'm still gonna get a bath, even though probably I get up at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. You know, it's just like a routine. You know, once you step outside, you get back in after a long day, you go in and you shower, and that's it. But when persons, I hear persons say, hey, well, you know, I went home and I slept, they got up in the morning, and it's the same makeup they're wearing. You know, the lashes are the same, and you can see the mess on the lashes, and they only tell you that, oh, I just wipe my eyes or rinse my mouth. And I'm like, these are young people. I'm not talking about like elderly folks, you know, who are not able to do certain things. These are young people, young professionals who you're thinking, you know, would have a boyfriend, a husband. Hi, Binesh. Hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to go ahead and double tap on the screen. Yes, Binesh, you can sub. Subscription is free, so go ahead, subscribe so you can see the content, you know, once they're posted. All right, thank you. So these persons that are, you know, making mention of not having a bath, you know, especially at the hospital, are usually staff. You know, I haven't met much in Texas here saying that, but as I say, in the northern section, that was a thing I realized. They'll come and be like, oh, I haven't washed my butt crack in like 3 days. And I'm like, okay, okay. Or they come in and, you know, their face is all messy and yeah. All right. So as I said, okay, thank you, Binesh. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. So that was another thing. So their work and lifestyle is another thing that persons use as an excuse or a reason, let's just say, not an excuse, a reason for not, you know, taking a bath that often. And another thing, as I say, it's more of a cultural thing as well. So culturally, a lot of probably Americans probably take a bath probably like say once or twice per week, and it is okay, you know, or a bare minimum of probably like once a week. But you have other persons who will definitely do otherwise. No problem, Binesh. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right. And as I say, if anybody is here who wants to, you know, call in to share their story, tonight is the night where, you know, you can share your day in the life of. If you're a nurse, I want to hear what your day was like, or just give me a brief, or the viewers, a brief, you know, summary of what your chaotic day was. All right. And even if you're not a nurse, if you're a teacher, electrician, you know, farmer, whatever it is, I'm sure there is a story regarding your day today. So go ahead and call in. Oh, let me see. Grace says she's trying to call in. Oh, let me tell you what happened, Grace. Let me fix it. Let me fix this. My bad. I totally forgot this. I used to get a lot of spam calls, and so I went ahead and how do I go ahead and do this again? Where did I do that? Yeah, I wasn't really using this number that often, but I would be getting calls like silence unknown callers. What is my number? Let's try again. Let's try calling again. Oh my word. Let's try again, or call me on WhatsApp. If you do have WhatsApp. I'm trying to see. Caller ID. Incoming calls. Silence unknown callers should have been off. Okay. Incoming calls. Let's try again to see if that goes through, Grace, to me. I totally forgot that I had put it on. Oh, and it's on this phone. All right, give me 2 seconds. Let me fix this. Okay, I think I am back on. So we'll not use the WhatsApp for this number because it's on the phone that I'm using for the live, unfortunately. So we will definitely do the number, the call because it's on this phone. All right. So,
Oh, okay.
all right. So you're fine though. You're fine here with the, and if you use the Google number as well, that's okay. All right. So either one is okay.
Okay.
All right. So how are you doing, Grace? To me, nice to finally put a voice to the messages.
Likewise. I'm doing good. I'm doing
Okay.
good.
Okay. Let me turn this up so persons can hear a little bit better. So you're in New York right now?
Yes.
Okay. And you're a nurse or what area are you in?
I am an NP.
Okay,
Um,
nice, nice.
yes. I also do house calls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been a nurse?
Since 2017.
2017. Okay. Okay. So what area of
Yes.
nursing were you practicing in before?
I started off in a doctor's office for less than a year. Then I was in the ER in a trauma center. And then I went to ICU, became an NP, AGNP, in primary care. And now I'm part-time NP and also in CRNA school full-time.
Okay, nice, nice. That's exciting
Yes.
regarding the CRNA program, right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Let me just ask. So, persons, if you're hearing properly, I have Grace to me here. She's a nurse practitioner. She's a Jamaican living in New York. So, we're just going to be having a little bit of talk today. So, if you're hearing the conversation with her, please just go ahead and put it in the comment section that you're hearing properly. All right, please. So if you're hearing the conversation well with her, just go ahead and put it in the comment section. All right. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna record your the call. Okay.
Sure.
Alrighty. Okay. So you can go ahead now, Grace to me. So you say you've been doing emergency room, now you're NP, and you're also in CRNA school as a full-time student, or
Yes.
okay, all right. So tell us a little bit about your journey, why you went into nursing, why you went into nursing.
I would say nursing chose me. That's what I
Okay.
would like to say. Um, Honestly, I was in like the counseling. They have like career counseling centers in schools in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and I had graduated high school early, so I kind of just landed in college.
Okay.
And the counselor was like, what do you see yourself doing? And I told her like what kind of things I wanted to do to teach. I wanted to be like an advocate, and she was like nursing, and I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I pretty much just jumped right in. I didn't realize how rigorous it would be.
Okay.
I was a little bit startled by that. But yeah, pretty much from there on, I just continued to go back to school, do like clinical instructor in schools and so on. And it's been good.
Okay, nice, nice. So you studied in the US here, right?
Correct.
You
Yes.
okay. And did you thought at the end of the program you were well prepared? Because I know, well, a lot of students nowadays, they will say that they're in nursing school, but they're not doing that much of a hands-on. How do you find the program at the time when you did it? Did you think you were fully equipped with the skills to
Oh,
function as a
not at
nurse?
all. Not at all. But I just feel that it's somewhat of a standard thing, I would say, because the material is so dense
Okay.
that it's hard to feel more prepared. So sorry, I have my daughter here.
No, you're fine.
But no, I didn't feel very prepared, but I felt well trained on the job, especially in the emergency room. I think the orientation was really good. So it helped to bridge that gap.
Okay, good. Because my program in Jamaica, and I did make mention of it in a few videos, it was a little bit different in comparison to the US here, where, we do a lot of hands-on. So once you're finished, once you're finished, you feel a little bit comfortable, going in the workplace and doing your thing.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And so tell us a little bit about, your NP journey, what your day is looking like. Because I know I share my story, with my experience as a nurse practitioner. So you're doing
Yes.
house calls, kind of telling the folks here what it is like from another person, what that is.
Definitely. When I listen to your stories, I can definitely relate. about the experience. A day in the life for me is more so, ours is more like preventative care. We don't do much treatment.
Mm-hmm.
But I do find in my role, there's a lot of like case management.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you have that same experience, but pretty much a lot of phone calls, referrals.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the conditions are so disheartening. And I find myself having to like debrief a lot of times after leaving,
Mm-hmm.
just trying to get myself together. Um, but pretty much, I see like on average, for my 10-hour days, I see about like 7 to 8 people a day.
Mm-hmm.
Because the territories are kind of far apart. I don't know how it is for you
Mm-hmm.
in your experience, if they kind of like keep everyone together. But for ours, it's more so like wherever the needs are. So we travel a lot. Sometimes I can drive 2.5 hours to 3 hours a day.
In total to see the 7 patients that you have, or
Yes.
okay. Mm-hmm.
So, but overall, I do feel like it's really impactful, and I do enjoy it. But I do feel it's a bit. It's hard. It's one of those roles where you want to do more and you just can't.
That's so true. Yeah.
Yes.
That is so true. Yeah, with my company, so I have the option of, booking my own patients. So I take up that opportunity because when I do that, I feel as though I am not wasting too much time on the road, in terms of the wear and tear on my vehicle, because I tend to group them
Gotcha.
in one, like in one zone. So for example, I'm going into Dallas. I try to see the patients in that area on one day.
Okay.
So even though it might take me probably like say 3-4 hours to see everyone, the drive time in between sometimes are a little bit like say 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and so unlike if sometimes the company do go ahead and book the patients, the drive time can be between 30-45 minutes sometimes because of where the needs are. So yeah.
Gotcha.
And then today I went in, as I say about the whole experience. When I went in today, it was more of I had a patient who, hi Bernard, thank you for tuning in, and Denzel. I had a patient who this is the first time I was meeting him in person, because last month when I saw him, he never wanted an in-person visit. And so I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to try and see him today. And when I went in, it was the same situation, the living condition was just like, sad. It was an apartment. I walked in and everything was all over. When you talk about lunch boxes for days, and then he has a wife who, not a wife, a sister who was in rehab, and she is, immobile as well. So you have two persons living in a home, just sitting, eating, putting things right beside, and you just have like shelves of, quote unquote garbage all over. And then not to mention, there were like roaches running around. And I'm like, oh my word, how can persons be living in this kind of situation? So it is very sad a lot of days, just by the population and what we are having to deal with. Okay.
100%.
Okay. So in terms of, your day, how do you normally, in terms of coping? I know you say you do a lot of debriefing. What kind of, how do you handle your stress levels, throughout the week or the day, working as a nurse practitioner or as a nurse?
I would mostly say my faith.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely helps me to like just renew my mind every day, and honestly, it has put me in a position of gratitude where like I could have a rough day, but I find the goodness in so many things.
Exactly.
And I think that's what House Calls has done. It has humbled me so much.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I try not to take it personal.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it takes a couple hours not to take it personal because it's difficult. It's definitely difficult, but
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just try to stay grateful.
That's so true. Yeah. Because a lot of times I go in, sometimes in as much as you probably want the patients to be doing this and they're not able to do it, and then it's like you're educating them, but then they're getting upset, upset at
Exactly.
you just have to kind of, understand from their
Yes.
perspective, what's happening. So it's very important that, you just have to think, as if you're in the patient's shoe at all times and just understand them. So forgive them at times
Yes.
whenever they get upset about certain things.
Exactly. And oftentimes, like sometimes I have patients who are really resistant when I come in, even to the point where I have to ask myself, like, am I safe here?
Ex-
And just being just being compassionate
mm-hmm.
at the end, a lot of the times they apologize.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's like really trying to stay objective, not take things personal, and don't treat people how they're treating you, because you don't really realize the full scope of what's causing their behavior.
Yeah, that's so true. And then the other thing I realize sometimes with a few of them, I don't know if you've encountered, if it's a case where they've had, previous experience with other providers or persons coming
Yes.
into their home, and not saying that they're judging them, but in terms of the treatment, it's probably a little bit different. Sometimes you'll hear they talk about how persons speak to them. So I think
Right.
with that as well, they kind of give you a standoffish kind of behavior, or sometimes they're
Yes.
just like a little rude, disrespectful towards. So, but after
Definitely.
you get to know them, interacting with them, you really see a different side to them, because sometimes they just need somebody to listen to them.
Of course.
That's it. They just
Of
want somebody
course.
to sit down and talk with and just listen to them. So, yeah.
That's it. Can I ask a question
Sure.
about something I often encounter, and I'm still figuring out how to deal with it?
Okay.
Sometimes I have patients where I have identified, like, for example, a diagnosis that is considered somewhat sensitive, and I'm trying to educate them, but it can become triggering. Like, for example, one thing that we have to address, I don't know about your role, is like the alcohol use. And you will address it, and sometimes in their home you realize that you're stepping on toes, but then you're kind of like wondering, should I leave it alone? Another one I had the other day was heart failure. I assessed the patient, and all the clinical symptoms said heart failure, the medication said heart failure, and when I mentioned it, they got so livid.
Yeah.
So I find myself in the situation like, is it safe for me to go ahead and have these conversations in the home? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally understand. Especially the alcohol use and the drug abuse questions in general. When you talk about them, they tend to get a little bit offensive. But one thing I always do is try to just look for the exit. No, try to look for the exit, make sure I know where to run. But I try to still, try my best to bring across the information as best as possible, and yeah, that's all I can do. Try to just bring across the information as best as possible, educating them and not letting them feel as though I'm judging them, that kind of way. Because some persons you might be educating them and they take it the wrong way. So I try to just explain it to them and try to link it back to what their condition is, make that correlation with both things so they can understand from our perspective why we're discussing certain things. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, no problem. So let me hear about your CRNA. Let's jump into that part if you don't mind. How is that going? Well, hold on.
It's going good. I'm really happy with the decision to move in this direction. I'm still in my first year, but towards the end of it. So at first I thought I would have to choose one career or the other, but I'm seeing with learning where the needs of like primary care and acute care can be bridged. So yeah, I'm a baby in it, but I'm happy with my decision.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited that, I, well, not personally know someone doing it from Jamaica, but, we have a relationship now. We're family. So,
you said you know someone that does it?
No, I'm saying you're the person who, no, yeah, my go-to, because I have a friend who, thank you everyone for tuning in. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up. All right, tap on the screen, double tap on the screen for me. But I have a friend, I did put out his video the other day where he studied math in Jamaica
Yes, I
and
saw that.
tech. And I think that's what he wants to do. He wants to go into the CRNA program. So at least, now we have somebody just in case, he has any questions. I can say, okay, then I have a friend, a family on my channel, family member on my channel who you can actually relate to if he needs any questions answered. Yeah. But it's
I've been
nice
meaning
though.
to actually text
Huh?
to do a more like formal interview because I'm happy to um, talk more about it if you would like.
I didn't get that part. Sorry.
I've been meaning to text this number
Uh-huh.
if you wanted to do like a more formal,
Of
like phone or
course.
video interview in the future. I would be happy to.
Yes, I am open to that. So the channel,
Of
I
course.
really want to have, persons showcasing their face as well, meeting the
Yes.
person behind, the profession or the voice itself. So I
Of
definitely want
course.
to do face to face for persons who are able to, but other persons who are not able to, then the audio is fine. But definitely,
Yes.
I would love to take you on um,
Of course.
to
We will keep
get.
in touch.
Yes, I will definitely save your number and we'll keep in contact regarding this as well.
Perfect. And I just want to say you're doing a phenomenal job. Your channel is so impactful, and I enjoy your videos. So please continue them.
Thank you so much. I tell you, you know that I'm very shy though, right?
I can't tell. I
Oh Lord.
cannot tell.
Yes, when I started out, or every time I'm supposed to do a live, or when I post a video, you wouldn't know how my heart is going.
Oh my gosh. And that's why I said let me call in because I want to support. Like I didn't I wanted to be a little bit like in the background
Uh-huh.
just watching, but I know how it's important to like let people know like I see you, I hear you. So I said let me just call in really quick. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. I really do appreciate you doing that. I really do appreciate you doing that.
You're welcome.
Yes. How old is your child? Just curious.
She's 3.
3? Okay, nice, nice.
Yes.
Only child?
Only child, yes.
Okay, so
It's myself and my husband, so we're
okay.
juggling that.
Okay. So well, one question. How do you
Sure.
balance, balance CRNA school full time, working as an NP and a mother and a wife? How do you do that?
Honestly, I have given myself grace. Um, funny enough is I was a type A personality
Mm-hmm.
like in nursing school.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say the ER was a gift to me because it had to calm me down
Mm-hmm.
to learn that, sometimes you just have to go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have like a balance between like extremely efficient, but also just going with the flow.
Okay.
So I think it equipped me for this stage in my life where I'm really, my schedule is very meticulous. Like my husband and I have a like an Apple calendar and we know what's happening hour by hour.
Okay.
But otherwise, I give myself grace the days that I can't
Mm-hmm.
perform as I want to. I tell myself it's okay. But it has been panning out well. Surprisingly, I'm finishing up my second semester and I have all A's.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to God be the glory.
Nice. Congrats.
While working, and I thought that I wasn't going to be able to work and what have you. So, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of times you hear persons talking about the CRNA program, it's always full time, and you find out that
Yes.
persons are still not working with it. So it's good that you're able to, be doing the program full time, working, and still
Yes.
getting good grades, as you're going through. So that's really impressive.
Thank you.
Yes, that is really
And
impressive.
she's in school full time, so that helps too. She's in preschool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I had to do with my little boy at the time when I was well, not in school. Because when I was in school, he was, still a little toddler. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
It's not easy.
yeah, we had to
It's
enroll him
not
in
easy.
school from early just to
Yeah.
kind of help with, balancing out a bit our personal life.
Exactly. How old is your son?
He's 6 years old.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
6 years old and
Nice.
yeah, very active little boy.
Oh my goodness. I honestly I can't even tell that you have any children because you're just so like you have it together. I don't know.
Oh my word! Thank you, thank
You're welcome.
you.
I feel like people can tell I have a child because I'm just looking like I'm just here.
Well, you have a lot of things going on, but at the
Thank
end
you.
of the day, you'll see the results, and I'm sure it's not that bad as you think. Yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
so it
All
was
right.
really nice. It was really nice. It's what time now? Around 8:40 in New York now, right?
That's right. Yes.
Okay. How is the weather?
It's pretty. It's warm today. Warmer, like
Okay.
60s, but it's really rainy.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How's
Okay.
it in Texas?
I think it was like say 49, 50s today. So it was
Okay.
a bit cold when I was doing house calls. I was like, okay then, if it's this cold tomorrow, I'm probably gonna
Yeah.
be staying in because can't do it.
So you really have flexibility in that way.
Yes, I do have a lot of flexibility. I love flexibility because even when I was working
Nice.
after, traveling and the contracts were usually like say 3 months. So it was pretty
Yeah.
nice for me and I enjoy that because I still
Yeah.
have time to, take my little vacations without anybody complaining that, oh, you're gonna be off for too long, so
Right.
and so I just get into the habit of just doing, travel contracts, local contracts, and then PRing. And I just enjoy the flexibility of it. So with the house
Nice.
calls, it is even better. And then with my company, she is like the sweetest person. So once I'm producing results, patients
Yeah.
are happy, I'm good. She's good.
I
So
love that for you.
yeah.
I love that.
So that's where I'm at with it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty.
So
Well,
to be continued.
of course, to be continued. But in the meantime,
Yes.
what just give me one word of encouragement for somebody who is a nurse, in school, thinking about the whole journey, or, they're having doubts because of multiple reasons, personal reasons. What is one thing you can say to them right now to just encourage and uplift them?
Okay, I will say something that someone told me when I was in nursing school, and it sticks with me till this day. It may seem simple, but they told me, you work hard now, you play later.
Exactly.
And that really has motivated me and pushed me because honestly, when you're in nursing school and sometimes nursing, it feels a little bit isolating because you put in so much work and a lot of people cannot relate. So then you look around and you say, I could be working right now instead of having my head in the books. But just remember, you work hard now so you can play later because it's either way. It's either you play now and you work hard later, or you do it now and then you play later. So it's simple, but I never forgot that.
Yeah, that's so true. That's why I went ahead and did my program. At the time when I just moved to the States, I was 1 year in, still on a contract, and I'm like, I need to get this master's out of the way because I don't want it to be a case where, I start having kids and then the brain getting a little bit lazy and everybody just feeling, So yeah, that makes sense. But then again, you have
So
to
I'm
look at
gonna
it.
have to I'm gonna have to go look at your videos because I don't know your journey much. I just found your channel like 2 weeks ago. So
Definitely check it out.
Okay.
Check it out.
Yes.
Please do. Yeah. All right, then. But thank you so much for taking the
Thank you
time
for having
out.
me.
And I look forward to another conversation with you where you're sharing more stories with us.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Enjoy your day now or your night.
Bye-bye. All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye. All right, so there we have it, folks. This was Miss Gracie, and she is a nurse. She worked in the emergency room. She also worked in ICU, and she's currently living in New York. She's from Jamaica, so she did, her nursing duties, and then she's actually working as a nurse practitioner now, doing house calls, something similar to what I'm doing, visiting patients in their home. And she did explain that, so just in case you miss it, And then she's also full time in CRNA school, so that's like, a total different world of nursing in terms of, um, the education, the program itself is so extensive. Usually they don't require or encourage you to be working because of the amount of things you have to do in terms of studying and preparation. But she's doing that full time, but yet still she's able to still find the time and work as a nurse practitioner. She's doing excellent. She says she's getting, A's in school right now. And she also has a child. So a lot of things going on. And at the same time, she's still, doing her thing. So I'll definitely get her back on the show here where we'll have a face-to-face and just, put a face behind, put a face with the person that you were hearing just a while ago. All right. As I say, this is the time when we're literally just talking about, a day in the life of. So if you're a nurse, if you're a teacher, whatever profession you're in, you can go ahead and call me in and share your story. Or if you have something regarding, growing up, why you went into the area of your choice, your career. Just talk about your journey itself. And as I say, it's more of like for encouraging persons, as well as to make persons be aware of certain things. In Jamaica, the working in the hospital is a little bit different than working in, the US here, Canada. So I just want persons to share what it is like, what their day is like in wherever you're from. That's all. All right. And as I said, the number you can call me on is 469-655-5152. I should have another Jamaican who is working in she's working in Indiana. Hopefully she'll be able to call in tonight and she will share with us her journey as well. All right. But in the meantime, remember to give the video a thumbs up. Any questions from anyone? Binish, I saw you. You're here. Thank you so much. Max up at AKA Cookie Lily. Just buzzing what is happening here. Hope you did heard what I just explained a while ago. All right, I want to say thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. Marvin Lee, yes, thank you so much for tuning in on the channel here on the live. And Denzel Palmer says, hello, beautiful. What's the program of the night? Hope you're still here and hope you didn't miss out anything with Gracie sharing her story. Welcome, Unbroken. Thank you so much for tuning in. And, as I say, remember, just give the video a thumbs up. RN to CEO is here. Awesome call. Yes, RN to CEO. Do you want to call in right now? And RN to CEO is a nurse as well from Jamaica. She's a coach, a nurse coach. And she has a channel that she shares like motivational, tips, things about self-care that you can actually go in and listen to and share in on her channel. All right, so it's RN number 2 CEO. So when you get a chance, go in to her channel and just explore a little bit. She says go in, driving in a bit. Okay, no problem, no problem. Well, drive safe, drive safe. Oh, there. All right. Yeah, so as you can see, the life of a nurse or the day in the life of a nurse can be very hectic at times. It is very hectic. And depending on what area you're in, it comes with its different challenges. House calls might seem easy, but then when it comes on to, it taking on that emotional side of you or, it's something you have to think about. Nursing is not just necessarily for everyone. You have to have a love for it. You have to have a passion. So don't go in it if you feel as though you're just going in for pursuing that career because it's a safe job or something like that. No. Make sure you love what you're doing because every area in nursing has its own challenges that comes with it. So if you're ICU nurse, you're going to have to deal with all of those alarms and the multiple drugs and, seeing patients most of the time just being sick, like really, really sick, critically ill. So just remember that. But as I always say, just go in and give your best shot at it. And remember to put yourself in the patient's shoe at all times. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Do we have anybody else who would like to call in to share their story with us? The number, I went ahead and pin it there, so you can go ahead and call if you're in Jamaica or if you don't have, access to calling the number, you can feel free to, well, not WhatsApp me tonight. I'm going to have to switch over on this phone with the WhatsApp. I think the WhatsApp is on this other phone. Yeah, but how is everyone's night going? You're welcome, Grace, to me. No problem. How is everyone's night going so far? Do we have anyone from Jamaica here? Let me see. Okay. I guess nobody wants to identify themselves. So as I say, I have a young lady. Hi, Mary Allen. How are you doing? And if you're from Jamaica, let me see who is from Jamaica here, or whoever is in Texas here, or just identify where you're at and what it is like there as well. Mary Allen says, I'm great. How are you doing? Do you want to call in, Mary Allen, and share your day with us? ICH312, welcome. Hello. How are you doing? Oh, CH312 is in Texas. Okay, nice, nice. Welcome. Welcome to the live here. So I say, I have a Jamaican nurse who should be coming on in a few minutes to share her story, and we'll see if she does show up. Yeah, we have a lot of Jamaican nurses here. Hopefully I'll be able to get a few of them on the channel. Oh, Mary Allen says she's at work right now, but I'm from Jamaica. Okay, nice, nice. Where in Jamaica are you from, Mary Allen? I'm from Manchester. Yeah. And remember to give the video a thumbs up. Double tap on the screen to give the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed us yet, remember to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. All right. Okay, Mary Allen says she's from Kingston. Okay, nice, nice. Part of my program was in Kingston. Yeah, but I'm originally from Manchester and did my second portion of my program in Kingston at Northern Caribbean University. So it's one of the best nursing schools to go to, even though other persons might say otherwise. But it's really, the program there was good. I wouldn't have traded it for anything else. So if you're interested in, a nursing program, you can always think about Northern Caribbean University. You have the University Hospital of the West, not University Hospital, but you have the University of the West Indies. You also have University of Technology, UTech. And I think you have the University, UCC, University Caribbean of, yeah, something like that. The University, UCC, let's just say that. We interacted on the live a few weeks ago. Mary Allen, I'm trying to remember. Oh, Mary Allen is the person who I met at a nursing home. Yes, I was passing through at this group home, rather, memory care facility to be exact. And I was there talking with her, and then only to find out I could hear a little bit of a Jamaican accent there. Is that you, Mary? Am I correct with that story? I could hear a little bit of an accent there from Jamaica, and then I was like, okay, then let me just chip in my little portion. And lo and behold, yes, Mary is from Jamaica. So that's how we exchanged number and invited her to my channel. So thank you so much for tuning in, Mary. Really do appreciate you. All right. Do we have anyone who want to ask any question or anything? CH312, you're in Texas. Are you from Jamaica? Oh, it wasn't you, Mary Allen. Oh, Lord. I'm so sorry. Oh, Marie Allen. I'm so sorry. Thought it was this other Jamaican. Oh, okay. Well, I'm so sorry. I can't remember you, Marie Allen. But hopefully, whenever you're off from work and I'm doing a live, you can call in and share a story. Are you a nurse? Or what area are you in? CH312 says not telling you. Okay. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, CH312. Remember to go ahead and double tap the screen though, okay? I'll eventually get you're in accident and emergency. Marie Allen in A&E. Oh, okay. Hopefully we'll get a chance to, meet and I'll get to put a face to the name or a voice to the name, all right? So don't feel bad. Well, you're from Jamaica, so you don't take this thing too hard. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Do we have anybody else who want to call in tonight? Even just to say hi. Get to know a little bit about my subscribers. All right, my online family. Okay. Yeah, so once I'm finished with this live, I am going to go and do some notes because I did saw, I think, 11, 10 patients because one, I never went in. I never saw them because they had a dog and she was saying that it was okay for me to come in to see her. And I was like, that dog is like sounding so aggressive right now. I don't think I'm going to be chancing it. So she didn't have anyone at home with her at the time to put away the dog. So I literally made a U-turn because I had an encounter with a dog. Bernard says, keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Bernard. I watch your video from time to time. Not a problem. I really do appreciate you taking the time out to do so. All right. Just remember to go ahead and leave a comment and share it with your friends and your family. All right. That's the most important thing. All right. I didn't go in because I remember going to this house and at the time, the lady had 2 dogs, but the dogs were very small. And then the next time I went, I was heading in and I heard 2 loud barking. And those weren't any normal kind of dog. So I literally just run out of the place. So I don't want it to be a case where I go into anybody's house and, running this big risk with their dogs, even though they'll be like, oh, the dog is friendly, the dog is okay, or this one is a service dog. Service dogs are not that aggressive. And even so, I am not risking it. So let's put away the dogs so everybody can be safe. Because I don't want it to be a case where I go to visit a patient and then come back with dog bites. It's just not worth it. CH312 says that's a lot of patients. Well, I don't think so. I give them roughly 20 minutes of my time. Sometimes these patients, you already know them a lot of times, so it's not that bad with, the visits. So 11 patients, you go in from 10 o'clock and then I finish roughly at 3 o'clock. It's not bad. All right, Christine Gordon. Hi, Christine. How are you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, she says, hi, good night. How was your transition from Maine to Texas in terms of finding work and home, etc.? And why did you choose Texas? All right, so my transition from Maine to Texas was pretty, I just wanted to get out of Maine, honestly. Just wanted to get out of Maine because Maine never really had much like stores and, not saying that I'm a shopaholic or anything, but it is it was just a little bit sad in Maine. And so once my contract had ended and I had my baby was, of the right age, I gave the hospital that I was working at enough time, to say, thank you. I was like straight through whichever states I have to pass through, I have to go somewhere that is warm. So I was looking at Georgia, I was looking at Florida, and I was looking at Texas. And then I was like, I wouldn't go to Florida because I'm already from Jamaica. We already know how, the hurricanes and all. I just never wanted to be experiencing that. I'm already here thinking about my family members in Jamaica every time I hear about, a hurricane. I don't want to be doing that at the same time and thinking about living in Florida. So I marked that one off my list. Then Georgia was like a big question mark beside it. And then I was going to Texas. And so even though I was still having a little bit of doubts with Texas, because I thought I was gonna have to wear the big hat and the buckle belt and the shoes and that fancy stuff. When I came down here, it was really, really nice. So we were trying it out, and then we realized that it was so, like, it was so diverse, and I decided that this is where we're gonna be staying. The weather was good. Every now and again, you might have a little bit of a cold weather, but it's not as bad as in Maine. We've had snow here, but by the time you drive out 9 o'clock, by 2 o'clock, it melts away. So we were fine with that. And so that was it. When I was in Maine, I did apply for a few jobs, and there are some major hospitals here. So I did apply to them. I did apply in Georgia. I was able to get a job in Georgia, but then, as I say, I wasn't really that much a fan of Georgia, even though it's, warm and everything. And so I decided to accept one here in Texas. So it wasn't that bad. There are so many companies here. There are so many, companies here. They have urgent care. They have so many other facilities associated with them, that you have jobs for nurses. So it wasn't that hard. And so, yeah, I did apply it, and that was it. So it wasn't a long wait time in terms of getting a job or anything. And then because I had experience, so that was a plus as well. And then with the housing and all, it was the same thing. I was able to go online and look up for, the best places to live. And I started out with the best schools, what was the best school zone. And that's how I ended up choosing the area that I'm in. So, and then from there, you look for housing. And just didn't plan on when I was leasing, I didn't want to lease at the time, doing a long-term lease, because I didn't want to be a case where I never so sure how the place was going to be. So I did a short-term lease, and then just in case if I needed to renew, then I would have done that. But in terms of the housing, the houses down here are really nice, and so that was it. Grace to me says, patients really take it personally when you aren't comfortable with the dogs around. I tell you, yeah. They are, yeah, when it comes on to the animals in the home, yeah, you have to be very careful. But at the same time, if sometimes, nothing is wrong with, having the animals in the home, but just, that you have persons coming in. Not everybody is like a cat person. Not everybody is a dog person, So the least you can do, we're already coming there. The least we can do is put the animals away. Put them in their little pen for a few minutes, because we're not spending the entire day there. We're just doing a quick visit. So that's the least we can do for the persons that are coming in. And then sometimes it's not even a situation where, if the dogs were out and the place was in a good condition, then that would be fine, because you have, places you can navigate around to get to the patient. But if you're walking in a house and you're walking on incontinent pads with pee all over and the place just smelling like urine, and then having to try and figure out how you're going to go around those dogs, I can't do it. Honestly, I cannot do that one. So I always tell them, if the dogs are out, I'm not going to be able to see, So let's put plans in place for the visit to make everybody comfortable. So that's all. Mary Allen says, why did you change your mind on Georgia? Why did I change my mind on Georgia? Georgia was just not my place, honestly. I don't know. Yeah. I just never was thinking about Georgia like that. I know that was one of the three places, and it was more because one of my friend at the time, I met her in Maine, so she was planning on going to Georgia, and she had her reasons too. And so I was like, okay, then since I met you, we could actually go to Georgia together. But then I was like still having doubts about it, so I was like, all right, let's go to Texas. So yeah, but it wasn't really anything, major. It was just my preference, that's all. But Atlanta is nice. Atlanta is nice. I did a road trip down that side when my friend was getting married, so it's really nice. Um, yeah, and we went to where we went to again. There was this place that they said that got flooded. What was it again? And they say it's haunted. So she married on that Lake Lanier. Yeah, it was beautiful. But then when I went online, I hear about the stories about Lake Lanier. I'm like, oh my word. Yeah. So if you haven't heard about the story regarding Lake Lanier, just go on YouTube and then you'll see it's like a lake that has been flooded with so a lot of persons, they say it's haunted, but back in the days, apparently, I don't know what was going on, but they flooded the entire area, and that's how the lake came about. So underneath, they said that you have like buildings, the structures are still there, but it is very haunted. You'll hear stories about persons going missing and then popping up out of the blue, So, but it was a really, really nice cabin. It was a really nice setup. So check it out. All right. Hi everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let me see if my friend is still gonna be calling in today. Yeah, so she should be calling in to share her day in the life with us, or if anybody is on the live who wants to call in the meantime, the number, I went ahead and pinned it to the screen here or to the live. It's 469-655-5152, just to share your story. Let me text her. And I cannot accept WhatsApp on this call tonight. Tomorrow or whenever I'm doing another live, I will be able to do so. All right, because the WhatsApp for this number is on the phone that I'm using to record. Okay. Let me just see. I know she works in the OR, so I'm not so sure if she's still in a case or not. Yeah, but these Jamaicans are so busy. Yeah. They're so busy in America here, which is something that I like. I just don't want to be a case where, we're working so hard and not enjoying the fruit of our labor. Make sure we're working and still finding time to, finding time for family members, self-care in general, family members, and enjoy your money. Don't just advance your career and then sit down and look at, your life slipping away. Enjoy, take time off and enjoy it with your families and your friends. So make sure we do that. All right, so I'm not getting anything from her right now. So, all right. Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed yet, remember to subscribe to the channel and double tap the screen. All right, for giving the video a thumbs up. So the other day, someone was watching. I think she's online here. So she said she watched the video and she wasn't able to double tap because she wasn't seeing anything. So, that person is just like myself, not familiar with YouTube. So she texted and said that she went ahead and just go ahead and do the thumbs up on the actual video. But the double tap is only for the live. All right, so if you're watching this video after, yes, the double tap is only for the live. It's not after the video is uploaded. So I was like, I was just laughing to myself when I saw the message and be like, yeah, this person is not accustomed to YouTube like myself. So just in case. All right. Yeah, I'm not getting any word from her. I know it's just 8:08. She had said 8 o'clock, so I'll give her a little bit more time. All right. Do we have anybody else who want to ask anything else? Christine Gordon, are you a nurse, or are you transitioning, or what area are you in? Okay. Yeah, but transitioning from Jamaica to the US, it's difficult. It's difficult, moving, packing up your things and deciding that you're coming to a different country. Yeah, it's difficult because you have to think about, so even though, the transition from Maine, it was okay. Because, I'm already here in the States, so it wasn't that bad. And but transitioning from Jamaica to the States here, it's very difficult because you're leaving everything behind, and you just really walking with two little suitcase, two suitcase, and you're heading in for the American dream. But then when you get here, the American dream can be a little bit of a, can be sad, because when you realize it's more about work, sleep, and then the next day is the same thing, work, work, work every day. And even when you work real well, you get tired, feel exhausted at the end of the day. The next day you have to do the same thing again. So, but moving from Jamaica to here was a big of it was a challenge. It was a challenge adjusting, and even to date, I'm not even that adjusted as yet. I'm just taking it one day at a time. Yeah, so I'm not fully settled in as yet. I'm still missing home like every day. The opportunity is here, but in terms of okay, all right, so she's here. Let me see. The opportunity is here, but then your friends, your family is back in your country. Oh, she's getting relieved at 9:30, so that's eight the next half hour. Okay. Okay, yeah, so she's still at work, unfortunately, but I will definitely be hanging on just in case anyone else wants to stay on. I know it's a little bit late, but she had said that she was gonna be calling in, so she's just waiting for a relief, and then she will call me. um yeah, but she wanted to do the video at one point, but it was, with her family and everything, it was just, the time was just not right. So no, as I say, the calls are a little bit easier for a lot of persons, because persons don't have to think about getting, the hair done, the eyebrow done, put on a little makeup. They can just come just as they are, and just share their story, and persons will still definitely hear and hear their story and feel motivated or encouraged from whatever they're saying, or be educated on what they're sharing. So that's what I like about this idea of the calls. All right. But as I say, if you are out there and you want to share your face on YouTube, you want to share your story, and you know that you are, the social media kind of person who wants to come here and also highlight your channel, depending on if you have anything else, then this is one way for you to do that as well. So feel free to go ahead and text me on WhatsApp, or you can do a regular text, or you can call me between the hours of 9 and 5 during the day. All right. No after 5 o'clock calling unless I'm doing a live, please. Okay. And or you can text me and I'll respond to it. But yeah, and then if you want to be a part of any form of community service, like whenever I'm going back to Jamaica, you know, when things kind of look a little bit better with my platform and everything, you know, if you want to take a trip to Jamaica and help out with a little bit of a community service down there, then the number is good for that as well. So you can always text me and let me know. Yeah, so I'm trying to get into the habit of giving back as much as I possibly can. So that is something I'm working on as well. So there's a community section on my community service section on my channel where I am working towards, you know, building like a foundation, helping out persons in my community back in Jamaica and even here, because, you know, this is where home is for the time being. So try to do like little care packages for persons, especially the elderly folks, because as I said before in one of my video, a lot of the patients that I visit, they're elderly. Some, I don't know where their relatives are, but relatives are with some as well. And it's not working out. It's not working out. So if I can come up with an idea of trying to even get a little toothbrush, you know, a little soap, little tin stuff, you know, might not be able to cook food and bring it to anybody because I don't want people get, you know, the wrong idea and then something happens and then you hear it's, oh, it's the nurse or it's this person who brought the food. So I prefer to get tin items and bring it to those persons. It doesn't have to be a lot, you know. It's a thought that counts. That's the most important thing. Because as I say, a lot of the patients, not even diaper, some of them, they don't have, you know, they're just lying on this bed, this mattress, and they're just peeing through the mattress today, the next day. Like sometimes I never even expected it to be that bad, honestly. Never expected it to be that bad, you know. So even if it's one pack of diaper and it can share between two families, I'm sure they'd appreciate that. Or you buy some incontinent pads and you know, you share it between two persons, I'm sure they will appreciate it. I remember when we were in Jamaica working, I think it's something that is still being practiced as well, you know. And you know, as much as probably you're welcome. Oh, Christine, nice, nice. Thank you so much. Yeah. You're a midwife from Kingston, Jamaica. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, no problem. Yeah, I remember when I was working in Jamaica, you know, and everywhere you go, you will find persons that are low income, you know, not able to afford certain things. And I remember when we were on the medical floor, it was kind of similar to that, where you know sometimes you'll get a donation from families, somebody passed, you know, and the family members decide that, oh, they're just gonna leave whatever items they had, so like diapers, you know, Ensure at the time. Some persons will buy like tons of those for their loved one, and then their loved one just passed, so they'll just bring it and leave it on the floor, as in meaning on the unit that the patient was at. And so we were able to use it with other patients, you know, and they really do appreciate it. And that was just a way that, you know, some persons were giving back, you know. But a lot of family members, they'll be giving it and probably don't even understand how, you know, how many persons, you know, benefited from the little items that they give. You know, sometimes it might just look like one pack of diaper, but you realize that the entire unit is wearing a Huggies diaper, you know. So it was just one way. And I just think that, you know, if I'm able to do that for 5 persons, they'll appreciate it. Initially I was thinking about, you know, trying to clean up some of these homes. But may I tell you, after I look at it, I say, no, sir. In as much as I know I can work and I'm not scared of work, it was just, you know, I don't think I have the items to put on and go into some of these persons' homes. You know, like today with that patient I was telling you about that had, you know, teenagers. Yeah, man, this person had like a ton of lunch boxes all over. Like it's a 3-bedroom. But I'm telling you, there is nowhere. They're in a wheelchair and there's nowhere for the wheelchair to go. So like the first time when I went out, because when I had the idea, the thought of, assisting persons with their, their home, like cleaning up, when I just started, those homes were, it needed a little touch up. But then as I continue my journey, and I realized I goes further into the rural area. I realized that me alone couldn't take up this challenge. I cannot take up this challenge by myself. This challenge is gonna need about 10 persons. You understand? And then today again, I went into another home and it was the same thing. I would have to get, these overall that you normally see persons wearing during COVID time. Yeah, man, I'd have to probably get all of that, some water boot, and make sure my head and put on some mask and all to go in and help out with these people's home. Because I tell you, the amount of stuff in the house, that's not for one person. It's not for a normal person. You need a team of persons. And so that's what I want to try and see if I can do when my channel has expanded a little bit more. We could come together, especially the Jamaicans here. And you have some Americans who want to, or persons from other culture who want to experience, Jamaican culture, and they want to come back and give back a little bit. I want it to be a case where my platform, I form a relationship with persons, and we can say, okay, then, this year we're gonna do a trip to Jamaica, and this is what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna go down to Golden Age Home. I know Golden Age Home was when I was doing my program in Jamaica. I think it has improved significantly, and it has improved significantly when I went down there once after graduating. But when I went there for my clinicals years ago, that was one of the places I said, I wanted to kind of help out with. So, and there are other places, in Jamaica that could definitely, take a little extra hand. So I was like, okay, then now that I have this fan base here, platform, I could definitely find a few Jamaicans. And this is one way for us to give back to the country. Go down and try and help out. Even at 2 weeks, just go down, help with cleaning up a little bit some of these old people homes, or, doing something more like some community service, health check, wellness check, those kind of things. That's what I want to do with my platform. Yeah. So Grace to me says, I had to get a company to provide a stool because of the housing condition. Okay, a stool. And then because each visit takes a stool for you to sit on. Okay, I understand. I must tell you, and I could not continue to stand when I wasn't comfortable sitting down due to roaches, etc. I am so happy that you're able to share that as well, because I don't want it to be a case where, people just feel as though I come on this platform and just be telling that people's house have, roach and all them stuff they're running through. Like, no, it's what persons are living in. It's really bad out there for some persons. So thank you so much, Grace to me. And if you're new on the live here, Grace to me is a nurse practitioner also. She's in New York and she is doing house calls. So basically we're doing the same thing. So she said she had to get a company to provide us tools so she can actually sit on when she gets there. I tell you, so I since I've been doing this house call, I've sat in only one house for the entire time, only one. And my reason for sitting, yes, it was because it was okay to sit, it was what you consider to be the uptown kind of house. Yeah, man, it was like a castle. Yeah, man, I could go in and sit and breathe properly and everything, and walk out still feeling strong. But I tell you, like, a lot of times I go to patients' home, like I'm there and I want to sit, but I cannot sit. And they're telling you, you can have a seat on the sofa. And when you look on the sofa, like you're there, and I'm like, I know, yes, I never have it when I was growing up, but my word, I never see this level of, it's just disturbing. Let's just say that it's disturbing. you know. And but the thing about it is that they're kind to, you know, tell you to sit, but I have to tell them it's okay, I'm fine, thank you. But sometimes my knees are hurting, my knees are tired, you know, you can feel it and they're sweating sometimes. Yeah. But I don't want to sit because the I just don't want to either take home any little foreign object with me. Yeah, man. I don't want to take home any foreign object with me. So when I go, I stand still. And then the thing about it is that I don't know if Grace, you're like that. When you go to one place and you meet upon certain things, the next visit. So for example, you go in with your bag, and then the next visit you go in to see the patient. You go in with, you know, bare minimum. Yeah, I go in with the bare minimum. I don't really go in with anything much, you know, because sometimes you go in, there's nowhere to put your bag. You know, you have to hold on to your bag, see, just the same, or you can put it on the floor, you know. So I just go in. Sometimes I go in and I go in there this time. But the thing about it is that you have to be smart when you're doing this kind of work, you know. So I have a big plastic container in the back of my car, and I have a bucket as well that I put my shoes in. So I have a Crocs that I wear because sometimes you can, and you're not saying judging, you know, what we consider, we call it evaluating, assessing. You're assessing the environment. So from the, you know, observing what is going on the outside, you can decide that, okay, then. All right. And then sometimes, you know, not all the time your assessment is good by just the outward appearance, because sometimes I go and I see some places and outside is not looking the best, but when you go inside, the persons, they take care of the place versus the, you know, vice versa. The house is looking like a castle now when you go inside. Oh my word, you know. But so not all the time your assessment just by observing is, you know, what it is. But I tend to just walk with, you know, have that big container at the back of my car. So that way, when I walk with my bag, I just take it and put it right in that plastic container because I don't want any little, you know, extra, you know, organism, organism or anything to escape or come home with me. So I just literally put it in that plastic container, and then with my Crocs, I literally just put it in a bucket so that way I don't walk into the house. Because sometimes when I walk out, you know, it's not only a bunch of hair I'm seeing on my sneakers, you know, you have diaper, paper, like pieces of that stick onto my sneakers, and you know, so I just have to try to find different means of going about and working, taking care of these patients, and at the same time trying to keep myself safe, you know. Welcome, Bernard. I am from Anova, Jamaica. I live in New Jersey for the past 20 years. I work in construction. Okay, nice, nice. So, Bernard, so my number is there. So, whenever you're feeling free, you know, and you want to talk about what it is like, you know, sharing your experience with construction here in the US in comparison to, you know, what I don't know if you were doing it in Jamaica, you know, or at least just in case anybody else is here in that area, they can hear what it is like working here in construction versus in Jamaica, you know, because not saying you're not doing hard work, no, you know, I know you're doing a lot of hard work, but when you look on some of the items or the machines that they have, you know, to do or make life a little bit easier for persons, even me probably could have picked up a little challenge with, you know, or a little job in construction, let's just say, because you have so many equipment that can help out with making the job a little bit easier here in the US. So when you get a chance, my number is there. So feel free to go ahead and ring me up, send me a text message or something, and um, yeah, so we can actually talk a little bit and share what it is like working in construction here in the States. So Bernard says, so I'm seeing the same thing in some of these houses. Okay, okay. So you do like repairs and all for some of these houses. Okay. Yeah, because construction here is a little bit different than, you know, in Jamaica. It's still hard work, hard labor, but in Jamaica, you know, think it's a little bit harder because you know really have some of them equipment here. Everybody have to do a lot of manual labor, you know. The other day I saw where somebody was using a machine to kind of dig a hole like to dig a hole and then put the like it was like one little item doing, you know, just one thing. You just put the little thing and it just drill down in the hole. They take it out and you just put the whatever you're putting there. So they'll put concrete, they'll put the wood or whatever it is there, and that's it, you know. While in Jamaica, you're probably gonna have to be digging with some hoe or something to try and get that hole going. So, yeah, that's the thing about America. There's so much opportunities here for everyone. Make life easier, you know, and it make some persons get lazier, you know. But if you're used to working and you know, I don't think you're gonna get lazy. But for persons who are not accustomed to working, yeah, man, this place can make you feel like, you know, you don't have anything else to do more than just lie down in bed and sleep and go on the internet. Yeah. Um, All right, so it's 8:28. I'm hoping that my friend is getting off from work. And then she will call in. Let's just hope. And if you're coming on late, please remember to go ahead and double tap on the screen. And we're just doing a live where persons are calling in. So the number is on the screen just in case you want to share your story or you want to share a day in the life of. So whichever area you're in, feel free to go ahead and call me on that number and we could go live, you know, just sharing your story here. And it's also not necessarily only day in the life of, but you know, it can be a day in the life of growing up in Africa or okay, so I have hi Kay. I am on live. You're on speaker.
Okay.
All right. So hi everyone. Again.
Hey guys.
So this is Kadian. Yeah. This is Kadian. She's a nurse. She's from Jamaica. And I am going to have her just, you know, take over the floor and introduce herself.
All right. Well, hi everyone. My name is Katie Ann. I've been a registered nurse how much years now? 13 years. Went to NCU, worked at Andrews part-time when I was going to school. Worked in Jamaica till 2016. Came to America 2016. I worked, you know, in Jamaica, work in different areas in the floors. Peds, ICU, A&E, everywhere. And I was working in surgery as well. And I came here, was in Florida for the first part of our travel agency assignment. And I had a bit of a culture shock because, you know, where we're from, healthcare is more proactive instead of reactive like in America. And patient care satisfaction is important, but not as the primary thing like it is in America. And I was in Florida, not circulating, shadowing on the floor because I was just deciding to either go on the floor or go back into surgery, where my favorite part was. And I had my first interesting experience where, you know, in Jamaica, you have a patient and the patient has to eat a diabetic diet and listen to the nurse, and the nurse has autonomy and respect. There is always, everyone was on the same level. No doctor could have talked to your nurse weird or disrespectful. CNA can't talk to you disrespectful. Everyone's on the same level. And it was so different here in the US. So apparently, my patient, hold on. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting a cough.
You're good.
My patient had sugar 400 and enough, 500 and enough. I tried to tell him, sir, it's really not in the interest, because you know the document that you know you try to maintain is kind of diet and you give the patient education. I told him, sir, it's not your interest. It's not in your best interest to basically have the dessert and Pepsi and all that stuff. And the man cussed me off, called me the N-word. Oh. I was like, you know what? Let me go back to surgery because I can't deal with these type of people having these kind of experiences. So I went back to surgery and I've been working in surgery. I scrub, I do cardiovascular, orthopedic, trauma, general, gynae, all the areas. I
Okay.
do organ procurement, a
Nice.
scrub and a circulate since then.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's basically been it. I still
Oh.
feel like I help others. I'm still,
Uh-huh.
I'm helping the patient, but I don't have to deal with the whole, patient
Mm-hmm.
satisfaction, patient interaction. I don't want the patients for that, honestly.
Okay.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm. Well, you
that's
see,
been my experience so far. So yeah,
nice.
it's been good.
Mm-hmm.
I just leaving work. We had quite a few traumas today. I get bored easily, so surgery works out fine because you do something different every day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
basically it.
Nice. Were you did you have to do like any certification to do surgery rotation or work in the surgery unit?
Yeah, so I had got my AORN certification.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that was important to us at first, but then at the end of the day, some of these hospitals do not pay you more to maintain the certification.
Exactly.
So it's not something that I'm maintaining now because it's not affecting my rate.
Mm-hmm.
And it really didn't affect the positions that they had available because of the nursing shortage. So basically everybody
Is
come and
get the
can get a
experience.
job, and how nursing shortage is now. So I didn't maintain it, but I did get my certification there. And I had been working in surgery in Jamaica, so I had that prior experience, and I've continued to get my experience here, and been working in surgery since then.
Okay, nice.
I'm second shift charge nurse, but I work part time because I do other things besides nursing.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaican, every Jamaican have about 6 jobs.
Uh-huh.
Other things to make money.
Uh-huh. That's nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit more about like, the organ procurement rotation or surgeries just for persons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in this state is Indiana Donor Network. I originally wanted to be a mortician. I don't know if you remember that, Stacey, from high school.
Yes.
So the closest thing to be like a coroner or mortician to do what's this called?
Autopsies.
What's the term? Yeah, autopsy. Thank you. Come just study work. I'm tired. Was basically being surgery. So I still get to be a part of, being in the patient's body. Biology is something that I was curious about and was interesting and exciting to me. So I scrub with the surgeons and assist with robot cases and a bunch of other stuff. But the IDN, which is the Indian Donor Network cases, you basically have cases where the client they're, it's terminal and they'd expect them to die once you remove that cardiovascular support. So what they do is bring them into the OR, remove their intubation, and basically if they die within 90 minutes, the heart can't manage, they die within 90 minutes, then they basically have that time. Once they die, the heart rate falls between 30 and you see the heart rhythm is PA or whatever those things are to determine that patient is no longer survivable. Then we cut the patient's chest, cut the patient's abdomen, take out the heart, liver, lungs, whatever organs that is necessary. Yeah. And then the ones that's called a DCD. And then there's others where they're already determined as brain dead. And then they're scheduled for us to bring them to surgery and basically get them set up, get them prepared, open the abdomen, open the chest, and obtain the necessary organs to help other people.
That is so nice. That is so nice. I remember when
it's not a lot of nurses like to do that because they always end up always do it because they know some love them something. But there's an aspect of it where they do the honor walk, where the family and friends and
yes, I love seeing
staff,
that.
They stand in the hall and they cry. I don't really participate in that part because that's when I want to get involved.
Yeah, it's always
I just want to do that part. So I stay in the room. I always end up being the one that's in the room and assist with the IDN process.
Okay.
The donation process.
Okay, nice. I remember when I was in Maine, we had patients coming in and we had to go ahead and prep. And I know sometimes, on the ID, your driver's license, you can tell whether or not you want to be a donor. And sometimes relatives do come in and they want to kind of, not
Change it.
have, yes, they don't want it to be a
Yeah.
case where you go ahead and do any form of organ donation with that patient. And
Yeah.
it's always a sad, experience, because this is something that the person had already made a decision for, and
Right,
that
right.
person is willing to give up, their organs, because they know it's going to
Mm-hmm.
benefit, like, how many persons they think it can benefit? It can benefit
I'd
about,
say at least 10
I
people,
think
because,
over 12. Mm-hmm.
yeah, 10
Yeah.
to 12, depending, because, it's two lungs, two
Mm-hmm.
kidneys, a heart.
Yes. Some
Some
persons
not
need skin.
necessarily the liver, they
Yeah,
have bone marrow, there's so many things,
exactly.
the retina.
Uh-huh. There's
Yeah,
so many
there's lots of
things
things.
that they can actually use that body for.
Yep,
And so it's
they
always a
can.
challenge on in the emergency room, but it's always a nice,
Yeah,
the process is very smooth.
yeah.
Have you left the state of Indiana to assist with any of those organ donation, or you just stay in Indiana?
No, it's really just Indiana. So
Okay.
because I work at two of the main hospitals in the city, and they both is the same team for the entire state. I actually
Uh-huh.
wanted to be a part. So he was going to be a part of the team. I was gonna take a job, but their call was too
Too
much,
much.
man. And
Mm-hmm.
you have a family and your young kid. I have a son, my
Mm-hmm.
husband, so. It would have taken too much from my family time and my ability to be available for my family.
Family. Mm-hmm.
But the pay was good, and it's exciting. But you have to, I guess you have
Mm-hmm.
to
You have to
choose
give up
what works out
something.
better in the end.
Exactly. And I think you're
Yeah,
doing, with you having all of that experience still, I think
yeah.
you're not really probably missing out on much, except probably the
Oh
pay
no.
a little bit. Because, if you're going to be
Yeah,
responding to all of those, but in terms of
yeah.
experience,
And I feel like the pay, the rate that they had expressed is not very different from the rate I get now. It is probably a little bit more, but
mm-hmm.
remember that also comes with the inconvenience. So you're
Mm-hmm.
having to be on call 3 days a week for 24 hours, 5
Mm-hmm.
days a week, 24 hours. You travel all boat, you up on helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun, but I feel like if I was young and single, I'd do it, but not
That's,
now. I'm
yeah.
too tired for that.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. Like, if you are
Yeah.
single, you don't have that much of
Yeah,
a
go hard, man.
responsibility with family and
Yeah.
all, then go
Go
for
after that stuff.
everything
Yep.
else. Don't limit
Yeah,
yourself.
for
Yeah.
sure.
But I did like how the response team for, when I was in Maine, because I think they do
Mm-hmm.
Boston and
Mm-hmm.
Maine. And when I tell you, when
Mm-hmm.
we have a patient that comes in and we know that this is a situation, they are a
Mm-hmm.
candidate, the calls were just like going through, and
Mm-hmm.
persons were prepping to come and do that organ transplant. And it was always,
Yep, yep.
it was always just something that fascinates me. So to hear you
Yeah,
talk about it and being a part of it is, a
yep.
wonderful experience, I'm thinking.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
asking. It's
Yeah.
chaos, but
Mm-hmm.
there's always some form of organization in chaos, and
Mm-hmm.
it's organized chaos.
Yeah.
It's always pretty crazy, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to provide closure for this family and help another family.
Exactly, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other day we had, I was at this heart hospital working, and I had a patient there who had gotten a heart transplant. And
Mm-hmm.
he was a Jamaican, to be exact. And
Oh
he was
wow.
in his 30s. So I was
Yeah.
asking, I say, between you and I, how did you even end up with a heart? How
Yeah.
did you end up with a heart? And that's what it
Yeah.
pays, it pays to
Yeah.
not smoke, not drink,
Yeah.
not having, like, living a risky life,
That's right.
So
That's
when I
right.
heard him, I spoke with him, and I'm like, how is it that you came over here and you got a heart? Because you have so many persons on a list, and
Right.
they're waiting for a long time. But you came up
Yeah.
here in the space of like 3 months, you got sick, you got a heart.
Yeah.
How?
Was an
And I was
ideal recipient.
exactly. And then
Yeah, it really helps.
I was asking him about, his experience with, after you've done the heart transplant, you hear people talk about different stories, their experience and all. And then his was like, after the heart transplant, a few day or the next day, when, he was still asleep and kind of getting back to, just waking up, he remembered like someone came in the room, and this was from a Jamaican. Not saying that when another person tell you the story probably is
Yeah.
not, but when you hear somebody talk from your country or your culture, you
Yeah.
you kind of believe it a little bit more,
Of
so
course, yeah.
so he was telling me that he remember just there sleeping, and it was like someone came into the room, and was saying, "You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be doing
Wow.
good," you know.
That's amazing,
And
man.
the person told him it was okay to wake up. It's okay.
Yeah.
You can get up.
Yeah.
And he said that he was there. The person was having a conversation with him, but it was a
Yeah.
lady, and he was able to describe the lady and all. So
Yeah.
after everything, he said that the person left the room, and then he woke
Mm-hmm.
up. Then he called the nurse because he thought it was the nurse that was, talking with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Mm-hmm.
was asking, "Were you in the room?" This was a
Yeah.
situation, the encounter he had a
Yeah.
while ago when the person told him to wake up.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, no, nobody came in the room. You've been by yourself, since the procedure. We are just checking in with you and everything, but nobody visited, after." And so he was
That's
there.
crazy.
So he wanted to reach out to, the persons who
Mm-hmm.
donated, but everything is going to go through the
Yeah.
organization. So it's
Yeah. And
nothing.
HIPAA sometimes.
Yes. So he was able to write a letter and his
Mm-hmm.
experience since having the heart. And he
Mm-hmm.
says that he's normally, like, he's from Jamaica, so him love him jerk. And him
Mm-hmm.
not have nothing to do with jerk right now. It's like him have a
Oh my
total
God.
change of heart. Like literally, the
You
heart,
said.
exactly. And so
Yeah, for
he
me,
wrote.
another spiritual aspect to it too,
Uh-huh.
It's there's another aspect to that too, but that's a whole nother
A
conversation.
different conversation. So he
Yep,
said that
yep.
he wrote the letter explaining, like, what he is feeling since he's gotten the heart. He's into
Mm-hmm.
playing violin. This man say him no know nothing about violin. Not a thing
Wow.
about violin, but him just find out that him just pick up the violin one day and just started playing.
See that?
And
That's
he is
amazing, man.
not into jazz music. He's into
Right.
jazz. So he has this total different side that is so musical. And I
Yeah.
tell you, um, there's a different side to him now, but he says that he's
Mm-hmm.
feeling relaxed and everything. So he sent the letter explaining all of what he's going through. And I tell
Yeah.
you, apparently the family members wrote back a letter to say that is exactly what their daughter
What
was
they're
like.
Oh my
And
God,
I'm
that's
like, I was just sitting
amazing.
in the room, and like I tell you, like tears come to my eye, and I'm like just listening to him sharing his experience and whatever. Like that's what I say.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's okay to donate your organ and everything. Yes, it might sound scary, and you're probably wanting your family members to be there, before
Mm-hmm.
them take out whatever organ they need. But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, just be mindful that it's gonna be benefiting like multiple persons,
Yeah,
multiple
yeah,
persons from that
definitely.
one decision that you make while you're alive. So it was a really nice experience. So
It's
it's
good.
nice for you to be a part of that, experience for some persons. Yeah, I would have really loved to be in there. Me just enjoying little
Right.
traumas every now and again, but I think that's a very big thing. So
Yeah, I mean, somebody has to do it. Not a lot
mhm,
of people like to do that, but
mhm,
of course, everyone has a different role and different purpose, and
exactly.
I'm happy that even a lot of people that I work with don't like the cases. They not be me.
Mhm.
I'm happy that I was able to serve that purpose and fit that role.
Yeah, that's your calling.
Somebody has to do it. Yep, yep, yep,
That's your
yep.
calling. So sometimes
Yeah.
we might find it, we might think that, because we never get into this job, the ideal job or what we had our mindset
Yeah.
on, we're not able to do something else. But funny enough, you might find out that, you were actually destined to do something different as well, or along that
Yep.
same line, but it might not be in the line that you were definitely looking out,
So true.
to. So,
This
yeah.
is true. Yeah.
All right. So I definitely want you to, we're still going to be having, that conversation. We're going to dive a
Yep.
little bit
Yep.
more into your experience in, the operating room in Jamaica and
Mhm.
here. I definitely want
Mhm.
that. So I really thank you so much for calling in tonight to kind of help with, tonight's live.
Yes,
But
of
as we're
course.
here, what is one thing you just want to say to persons out there tonight, listening, persons who are nurses or just enthusiasts for, the field? What is it that you want to say to them?
Um, you know, especially with the shortage of nursing, I, persons who have interest in nursing,
Mm-hmm.
especially the ones that live in the US, I'd say it's always great to serve the purpose of helping others, but please remember your self-care in the process.
That's so true.
Please remember your self-care in the process. Please remember your financial personal finance and how to manage that stuff in the process, because one of the observations I've made since being in the US and working in surgery is a lot of us healthcare providers care for everyone else and
Except
forget our
ourselves.
own self-care. Nurses always old or retire and them either miserable or they're still trying to be involved as a patient. Them always have kidney stones. Them always end up sick.
Exactly.
And that sense of, oh, this is a purpose and I was a valuable person in the team, they don't experience that, because at the end of the day, these new nurses that take over, that take care of them when they turn 60 odd and they're retired, that special feeling that they thought they would have received, I've seen them receive so much disappointment.
Exactly. That is so true.
So remember to take care of yourself. Remember to set up yourself properly for your retirement. Remember to nursing requires so much time, 40 hours plus more overtime. Sometimes we forget that there's other aspects of your life. So when you retire, set yourself up for something that you enjoy doing, something that brings you fun, something that's another source of income. Because nursing really breaks your body down. It breaks you down mentally, physically, emotionally. And nursing is wonderful, but at the same time, your own satisfaction, your own self-care is important.
That's so true.
That's something that I definitely, every time I meet a new young nurse, I tell her that, like, don't. It's great to be a server, but don't forget to serve yourself.
That's so true.
Yes.
Before
That's
coming to the US here, were you doing much about, like, yes, we think about our health, but were you always this focus on your health in comparison to moving to the state here? Do you feel like you're spending a lot of time on self-care, telling yourself that, oh, you need to do this to take care of yourself, versus when you were working in Jamaica?
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty much the same. Me for a long time, I was being more like a pro health person, pro diet, because I do holistic. I have a holistic aspect where I provide holistic products for persons for basically their own self care, like their diet, their gastrointestinal health, their sleep, their hormone balance. It's something that's always been important to me, and because of that, I used to always exercise. You remember when we go NCU, I always exercise and the taekwondo and walk. So it's something that I still do here.
Now you slimmer
It's
than
still
me.
important to me.
Now you slimmer than me at that time, and I was so active.
I'm still slim. We maintain it. I mean, it's important because this place, especially in the US, the food is different. The healthcare is different, and the healthcare is more reactive than proactive.
That's so true.
And I try not to forget that aspect. So I still focus on my healthcare. Self-care, I kind of lost a bit of it when I came here, because the work schedule is, in Jamaica, you work morning shift, second shift, you don't really feel like you did so much. Yeah, but here, like 40 hours, you feel mashed up.
Exactly.
Yes, it's important to remember to rest and stuff. So that's something I really still focus on, and I think I encourage everyone I meet to do that, and I think that's something that we should always still focus on.
Okay, that is so true. That is so true. I know you say you are into health, healthy lifestyle and products and all. Do you have like a store or anything, where persons can get items?
Yes, so I was an independent contractor with a holistic company called Vida Divina. So my website is Sancy, SANCY.Vida Divina, DIDADIVINA.com. And basically what we provide is a organic, basically herbal-based detox tea. There's also supplements that help a lot of my clients with hormone balance, PCOS, infertility, men that have issues with their sex drive or, their libido. There's different things. So you guys can check out the site and message me at 260-337-8337. And, ask questions, and I can basically give you some guidance as to how those things can help. Because a lot of the healthcare professionals that are in my community that know me and know how we stay for a long time, I've been able to help them with a lot of the personal issues they have utilizing that.
Okay. And I will go ahead and put the information for her website under the link here. and the number as well where you can contact her just in case you need anything from from her advice
That's
or
awesome.
any products. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, so Katie Ann, I really, really appreciate you taking the time off. I know it's probably about 10 o'clock now.
Yeah, I'm on call tonight, so
Oh,
I restarted my
Jesus.
phone.
So I'm going to free up your phone and
Yeah,
free up your mind a little
yeah.
bit so you can go and, get a little bit of an
Yeah.
energy
Yes,
until,
thank
your
you.
next shift start or you get a call. So
Yes,
really
thank you
appreciate
so
you taking the
much.
time out. No problem.
Yep, and we'll reconnect soon and share the other things. Another thing too, like I said, for nurses, find a side hustle. Please don't depend on nursing alone, because if you get hurt, you hurt your back, you hurt your hand, something happening, you can't work in your job. It's always good to have another
A
source of
backup.
income. But that's
Exactly.
a whole other conversation we'll have in our interview when I talk about, your financial literacy and setting yourself up to be protected in healthcare.
Nice, nice, nice. I love those topics. All right. So thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. And
All
as I
right.
say, we will definitely link again so we can actually have
Awesome.
more talks regarding everything you can share with our folks here. All
Awesome.
right.
All
So
right. Thank you
enjoy
for
your
having
night.
us.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're
And your
welcome.
YouTube page has been wonderful. You guys check it out, share it. It's been great. I've been sharing it with quite a lot of people.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, thank you for having me as a guest.
All right. No problem, Kadian.
All right,
Always.
Stacey.
Later.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right.
All right, bye.
All right, so folks, thank you so much. That is Katie, and she is, Katie is always doing a lot of things. She was always so focused and organized. In college. Well, we went to high school together, college together, and as I said, she was always into forensics. I was kind of surprised when I saw her in, nursing school with me, because I thought she was gonna do either becoming a medical doctor or, as I say, she wanted to do forensics. And but she has always, she always have her head screwed on her body. Like, yeah, if you want to know anything, she's a go-to person when it comes on to that. So I'll put her link down below. Go ahead and check out her channel. Not her channel, because she doesn't have a channel, but I think she needs to have a channel because she have a lot of information there for a Jamaican nurse, so I think she needs to create a channel and just go ahead and share some of her information. She has a wealth of information there. But yes, unfortunately, I never expected the live to be this long, but I think we did really good with the folks that came on. We had one nurse, who is in New York, who shared her story about, her emergency room journey. She's a nurse practitioner doing house calls, and she's also full time doing the CRNA program in New York. She's a mom and a wife, so she has a lot of things going on there. So that's the initial part of the video, and when you get a chance, just check that out. And then I spoke with Katie and here, who shared her journey, with everything else. But yeah, so I want to say a big thank you to everybody. Jacinth, Murray says, bless up, think nursing, Damien, mix up boss, told us subscribe to your channel. Okay, thank you, thank you. Yes, thank you so much. I realized he had posted a few of my videos, so I really appreciate him taking the time out to do that. Really do appreciate that. And I see CH312 saying blessings. Bernard says work in construction is much easier, but there's opportunity for everyone. Exactly. If you come to America and you can't make something out of it, the opportunity you get up here, well, I don't know if you tell people, honestly, because everybody can make something of the experience here. Everybody can get a little insurance. Everybody can get a pay either bi-weekly, weekly, whatever. If you decide you want to go and do Uber or Lyft, you still can make money. So I don't see why people are not making money and not making use of the opportunity here. And then Bernard, okay, and Grace to me. Yeah, so I just want to say a big thank you. I'm gonna go and finish my notes that I saw my patients today and didn't complete, because I don't like to have work hanging over the next day. So I'm gonna do those notes and send out some scripts and what else. Then go to my bed around 12 o'clock. Then get up around 4, 5 o'clock and try to get my day started. All right. So If you haven't double tap on the screen, just double tap and remember to hit the subscribe button. And this is the channel where we're sharing everything regarding nursing, travel, and lifestyle. It's a Think Nursing channel. All right, so remember to look out for the videos, check out the stories that I post. And I have a Nigerian young lady who is going to share her story. And we also have a teacher. So the number there is not only for nurses. If you're in construction, if you're a teacher, if you're a doctor, whatever field you're in and you want to share your story, you have something that is motivating and encouraging, or if you just want to talk with me, feel free to call in. I'll be trying to go live on Wednesdays, or probably, let's see how tonight goes. I'll probably go live tomorrow as well. Not on Saturdays and Sunday night, but yeah. Just to kind of get more persons coming on and hearing what the channel is all about. All right, so until then, I really do appreciate you taking the time, and I do hope you will have a wonderful evening. All right, bless up yourself, and we'll see each other in the next live or the next video. All right, bye, Grace to me. We'll talk, and bye, everyone else. Enjoy your night.